Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we're talking about AI surveillance because it's pretty obvious to most of us that it's expanding worldwide, but how and where it's expanding, I think, is rather interesting. Now, this research comes from the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace and was reported in the Associated Press, and I find this absolutely interesting. Basically, what they're saying is more countries are following China's lead in deploying artificial intelligence to surveil their citizens. Now, according to this report from the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, they're saying at least 75 countries are actively using AI tools such as facial recognition for surveillance. Now, this index of countries where they have some form of AI surveillance that's in use actually is coming from more liberal democracies like the United States and France, and also it's coming from autocratic regimes, which is kind of what we would expect. Now, I have notes here. Relying on a survey of public records and media reports, this report is saying that Chinese tech companies led by Huawei, and they've been in the news for possible surveillance of infrastructure 5G technology, and Hikvision, which is I believe a camera maker, are supplying much of the AI surveillance technology to countries around the world. Other companies such as NEC out of Japan, IBM in the United States, and Palantir, which is a cyber operations outfit, as well as Cisco, are also major international providers of AI surveillance tools. Now, many of the projects that are using these tools, according to this report, are basically smart city systems in which municipal governments are installing an array of sensors like cameras, other internet-connected devices to basically gather information and communicate with the network back to the municipality. Now, Huawei is the leading provider at the moment of these kinds of platforms, which can be used to do things like manage traffic or save energy strategically, but they're also being used to increase the public surveillance and security apparatus that a lot of these municipal governments are deploying. Now, what's surprising to both the researchers and myself is basically how many democratic governments in Europe and elsewhere are actually pushing forward to install AI surveillance like facial recognition, automated border controls, and algorithmic tools to predict when crimes might occur, even though there are serious issues with this. I have done, basically videos and talks and written on, let's say, the deep flaws in facial recognition, as well as crime prediction and all of that. That is something that I take very seriously. This index on this research, though, is showing that just over half of the world's advanced democracies deploy AI surveillance systems at either a national or local level. And so we are continuing to see this. And if we are looking at things, let's say here in the United States, we have other companies outside of the ones I mentioned, like Amazon, that are actually using the artificial intelligence when they are pairing it with, let's say, a camera maker's technology. So Amazon's Rekognition, for example, I'm in the process of writing an article on that, has a horrendous track record of, false positives when it comes to women and minorities, but that has not stopped Amazon from trying to sell it to absolutely every law enforcement agency that they can possibly get their hands on, from the local police all the way up to the national level here, and I'm sure internationally as well. So that is something to consider, but it seems like that this is just kind of a foregone conclusion. We've seen cities around the world, like London in the United Kingdom, that has basically turned into a surveillance state with all of its cameras. So it's not just China. The researchers were expecting that more autocratic states in the Middle East, and in Asia and all of that would be adopting this, and they are. But it's also coming to places that are typically considered more free and more egalitarian. And I think that's very interesting, and I think it's also very troubling as well, because quite frankly, privacy seems to be under threat and in some ways under attack in the Western world as well, and that's something that's rather unprecedented in the history that we have. So that is your news of the day. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. But that is the state of our surveilled world. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter, and please feel free to subscribe to me on YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.